What is up, everybody? It is Brian and Randy here from the Simple Team, and we got a great tip for Tuesday for you today. And this tip just revolves around organization because we were literally having this conversation, and we're like, this should be the tip because we need to do better at this, both of us. So really, it is just make sure you write things down. So we are literally having a conversation, and I just said we're talking about what we're going to do for Tip for Tuesday and coming up with some ideas for this month and stuff. And I was like, man, I always have such really good ideas. I need to start writing these down. So that's going to be our tip for today, of just organization, writing things down, keeping a calendar, keeping stuff organized, time blocking, that type of stuff. It's, man, it just goes so long. Or goes so far for you, and it's going to help you out. So one of those things is when you have ideas, I used to do a really good job of it, of like carrying a notebook around. So I used to be a teacher. When I was a teacher, I used to just carry a notebook around. And we're like, oh man, that'd be a good idea for a lesson. I would write it down, and I'd have that tip in there. I also kept a little notebook of like all the funny things my students said, which was always hilarious. But if you are able to just have that notebook or something, like everybody has a phone on them now, like make sure in your phone you have a file that's just like ideas or thoughts, those types of things, making sure you write those down. It's one of the practices that you'll hear. So like Leonardo da Vinci, like Aristotle, like all those like high level thinkers from, way back in the past, or even, the Bill Gates and the Elon Musk and things like that. That's what they do. They write this stuff down, or they have a way to kind of track all these ideas and stuff that they have, be able to come back to them later. So make sure that you have some way that you are doing it, and it's a good practice for you. When you have those ideas, when you have those thoughts, write them down some way, put them in your phone and stuff like that. It's a great way to get things down. So Randy, I know you want to talk about too, just a little bit of organization, keeping a calendar, time blocking, that type of stuff.
Yeah, I struggle at this. So I know you kind of always get on me for getting stuff out on time, things like that. But it just comes down to putting it on the calendar and just having alerts set up for when you need to do stuff. And just kind of just tying this back into wholesaling. There's some people out there right now that still have a full-time job, but they want to still wholesale. So you have to time block, say, hey, this is when I'm going to make my calls, or this is when I'm going to send out my mailers, or this is when I make my follow-up calls. Typically it's going to be before or after work, or if you get a break during the day. So figure out what is the best time of day to do those items. If it's calling, it's probably not going to be before work. Maybe that's when you set up your mailers, right? And then after work, you take an hour or so to do your follow-up calls or calling new leads, and setting up appointments for maybe the weekend. That's what I did when I started. And I think I couldn't have got deals if I didn't structure it out and follow up with all the leads that came across. So just putting it on the calendar and just making it a priority, and not forgetting about it.
Yeah. So it's huge. I will say, like, I'm somebody, like, I have a really good memory. Like, I have a good mind. Like it works really well. I am getting older, and maybe that is slipping a little bit, but I will just say, like, you're going to get busy in this business. You're going to have things that come across your plate. You're going to have properties that come across your plate. You're going to have people that you meet that come across your plate that somewhere along the line, you're going to forget. You're going to drop the ball. So making sure that you put those stuff down, like Randy said, in a calendar, on a notebook, or whatever it is, whatever that tool is that works for you. Something we'd like to do is called the Stick at 6. I think it works really well. Basically, we just put in the top 6 things that we needed to do each day, put it up there, and then we just kind of knock it out. When we finish it, we cross it off. It's a really good thing. I will say that one of the things of making sure that I have to put in my Stick at 6, because sometimes I just forget. I get busy. Things happen, whatever it may be. Like one of my jobs is I need to analyze properties every day. Like sometimes, like that's the lifeblood of our business. I need to make sure I analyze properties, because we need properties to buy. We need properties to make offers on, all that stuff. We need properties to say, no, we don't want this, whatever it may be. I will forget to analyze properties some days, even though it's something I do every single day. But because I put it on my Stick at 6, because I have it on my little to-do list, like I get it done, and I'm gonna pop up. It might be like 8 o'clock at night and be like, oh yeah, I didn't analyze properties today. So just some good tips that I think would really help out. So that is our tip for Tuesday, and we'll see you guys next week.